Hey you guys, aloha. So you know where I'm at. The usual spot here, feeling blessed. So it looks like winter time in Arizona with this coat on, huh? It's pretty chilly today, and I wanted to be nice and cozy for our inspiration activation live reading. So let's see who tunes in. Why do I call this the inspiration activation reading, you guys? I call this the inspiration activation reading because the point between the new moon and the full moon can be looked at as a point where we kind of need to remember what our intentions were during the new moon and integrate everything that's happened from then till now, the halfway point. A lot of us at this point will feel like we need a little inspiration, we need a little push to keep going toward our goal, which should be somewhat revealed by the light of the full moon. So here it is, or here it comes rather, the inspiration activation. The cards that we reveal will provide a map to move through this point of the cycle that we're at right now. There's plenty of new content up on my YouTube channel, so if you haven't been following along, please do check out all the other good stuff that's up there right now. Just search Rebecca Magic on YouTube. Alright you guys, so whatever has been on your mind all day, just fully acknowledge it, say, look it in the face and say, hey, I'm here, I hear you. And now let's let it go. So create the space. Whatever's been filling your space, your vessel, your mind, your heart, clear it out. Acknowledge it once and for all and clear it out. Okay, I'm calling upon the energies of inspiration, of motivation, clarity, alignment, focus, happiness and joy, to embody that happiness and joy so that we can move toward whatever it is we desire, so long as it's aligned with our highest good, for the sake of the Creator, for the goodness of the One. So we're calling it in inspiration, activation, clarity, intention, focus, alignment. Go ahead and throw your energy into the deck, y'all. Throw it in. Okay, I actually just pulled 3. I felt guided to pull 3. This is a little bit different than I usually do, you guys. So it just looks like this. I pulled 1 card to represent what our intentions were around for the new moon. What were our intentions really about? The second card is, how we can refine those intentions or that intention. And the third card is where it's bringing us, ultimately, the future. All 3 of these cards I pulled yesterday for private readings. All 3 of these. Check it out. So we have a knight, a queen, and a page. We have all pretty interesting cards right here, and they each have one thing in their hand, as you can see. So we've got some royalty going on here. We got some powerful messages. So we have the Knight of Cups representing our intention, our original intention, and the new moon. Knights are fire and cups are water. This is the Fire of Water card. This is the Emotion in Action card. This is putting our heart on the line, running with it. It's having an idea that concerns emotions or the heart and putting it into action, putting it into manifestation. So it looks like a lot of our intentions around the new moon were about action, motivation, moving forward, taking action on something that's been there. It's been there all along. But taking action upon emotion specifically, because it's the Knight of this particular suit of cups, which is water. So it looks like whatever actions we took from the new moon, starting with the new moon, whatever direction we set forth on, whatever path we set forth on, that had to do with emotions in the heart. Even if we weren't directly acknowledging it, this card, I feel, is wanting to show us that that is really where our intentions were, what our intentions were based upon. How did you base your intentions and your vision that you wanted to manifest by the light of the full moon? How did you base that on the heart or your emotions? And was it positive? Because if it was, great. And if not, well, let's re-examine that. And even if it was a positive intention, sorry you guys, I'm dropping you all over again here. Even if it was a positive intention, is it still aligned with what we want right now, which is what we're going to get to with the next card? So it looks like the roots of our intentions were emotional. And this could be a positive or a negative thing because our emotions are there to guide us. They are a guidance system. But they are not meant to run us. They are there as a guide. They are there for us to learn more about ourselves and to be more in our hearts and not only in our heads, but more of a balance as far as the decisions we make in life, what we want to think, what we want to manifest, where we want to go, what we want to do, who we want to be. But if our emotions overrun us, then we allow them to be our face. Then we think we get lost in the illusion that I am the anger, or I am the happiness, or I am this, or I am that. And it doesn't matter whether the emotion is good or bad. It should not be our face. Our emotions are temporary. They're only here to guide us. So in what ways were our intentions, and in what ways still are our intentions being formed upon an emotional foundation? And how do we feel about that? How conscious are we of that? How conscious have we been of that? So it's important that we rightly align our visions that we're wanting to manifest with our emotions and with what the heart truly desires. And what does the heart truly desire? We share one heart. So if we look to that one heart as the macrocosm of the microcosm of each of our own hearts, we can see that we really all have a shared intention of healing and expansion and goodness, kindness. So ultimately, at the root of what this card is showing us is that in order to manifest whatever it is we're wanting to manifest, we absolutely need to make sure that our heart is in the right place and that it's guiding us in a way that it's connected to the mind and to logic, not overrunning us. Woo! The next card is the Queen of Pentacles, and this is the card of how can we refine our original intention? How can we get clearer? So I kind of just talked a little bit about that, but how does that look as far as the message of the Queen of Pentacles? The Queen of Pentacles is the water of earth. She's the heart of the earth. She is the emotions, she is the heart, she is the feminine aspect of the earth's protector. She protects all abundance. She's the protector of what is right. And I'm talking about this earthly realm because it's pentacles, it's the earth, it's this physical reality. So there are two sides to this card. She can let her emotions overcome her. She can become very greedy, and her emotions, because her emotions are overcoming her, how does that manifest in her physical reality? Maybe an excess of material items, hoarding, being selfish, taking too much for herself, because she's compensating for something. Okay, when we're compensating for something, we tend to acquire more than we need, which leads to greed, which leads to disease. The positive side of this card is when we're coming from that right place, like I spoke about with the previous card, when we're coming from that right place in the heart, and our values are rightly aligned with our most authentic self, then what we begin to protect are the actual values, understandings, virtues, beliefs that are behind the actual physical manifestations. We begin to protect what's really real, so that when we manifest a reality and reflection of that, it is sustainable, it is true, it is pure, it feels good. Okay, so these really go hand in hand. We can already see the connection there. And then finally, what we're moving toward, the future, once we can get this process down, is the Page of Swords. And pages are the youthful aspect of the suit. Pages are messengers, communicators, and swords are the air element. Swords are the mind, thoughts, truth. So it looks like when we really refine our intentions and remember what our intentions were at the beginning of the month for the new moon, and we begin to really sit with them and see how they are or how they're not connected to our heart. And if they are connected, is it rightfully connected to our heart and our emotions? Okay, so we need to make sure that our intentions are aligned with what is right, what is real, what is true. We need to make sure that our intentions are aligned with our most authentic self. And to understand that whatever we manifest, there are emotions that are going to guide us to get to that manifestation. How do we see that unfolding? Let's get really clear with that so that we can kind of take the reins ourselves, so that we can have the ultimate motivation and inspiration to move forward toward the manifestation of our desires by the light and time of the full moon. In order to feel the most fulfilled right here, right now, to build that motivation, to move ahead, to move toward our goal with the most fire, it's important that that comes from self, that confidence comes from inside of ourselves. And how do we do that? By getting really clear on our intention. And this message is so perfect because it's really one that is for all situations in life. We always need to get in touch with our heart. We always should be bringing our heart into our manifestations. The heart is what's true. The heart is the perfect foundation for any manifestation to be produced in a sustainable way for the highest good of all as one. And so if we do this, when we do this, we are going to be receiving an opportunity by the time of the full moon that reflects the message of the Page of Swords. So I see this as we are going to be the givers and the receivers of a message, a new truth, a new way of thinking, a new belief, which ultimately serves as a catalyst for all of our reality around us and within us to change. When we are receptive to a new message of the mind, a new way of thinking, a new program, and then we integrate it, all of our reality shifts inwardly and outwardly. We begin to see a reflection of that new thought program, that realization, that integration of that realization. So if we want to access this opportunity that is coming, that's on its way, if we want to access it in the best way possible and really be ready for it, then we need to ask ourselves, what were our intentions on the new moon, and how can we refine those by aligning with our most authentic self and making sure that our heart is in our prayer. What are we really asking for, and why are we asking for it? What does it have to do with the heart? Because baby, what's love got to do with it, got to do with it? And Kendra pops in right when I'm singing that. Girl, you pure love. You are all pure love. We are love. We are love. We are one big love. So ask yourself, what has love got to do with it? Because if love doesn't have anything to do with it, then it's got nothing to do with you. Because you're love. Thank you guys for tuning in to this reading. If you have any further questions or you wish to receive guidance as far as how this collective reading relates to you and your personal path, please feel free to ask away in the comments or private message me. If you're struggling with really getting that motivation to be able to work toward the manifestation of your goals, if you can't even figure out what your goal is, you feel stuck or lost or confused, reach out. I'm happy to help. All right, happy Inspiration Point, you guys. And please check out Rebecca Magic on YouTube. I've got some new videos up there. I'm about to load this one there, and I'm also going to load a video that I just made. It's on my wall right now, all about the importance of remaining anonymous in charity. To remain anonymous as the giver and also as the receiver. What is the metaphysical understanding behind anonymity in charity? The anonymous part is the most important part when considering when considering how to give and receive charity. So there are some pretty awesome magical keys in that video. Check it out, let me know what you think, and it will be up on YouTube very shortly here. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel also, you guys, if you want to get notifications when I randomly get the inspiration to upload. Okay, many blessings and shalom and aloha.